Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today we got a lot of stuff to cover and a couple of things to catch up on because the last couple of days I have not been involved with crypto whatsoever because a couple of my friends passed away, unfortunately, and it's been happening a lot lately, and it always makes you wonder what your priorities are and, what is important and what is not. And again, it made me realize how important I believe crypto is for the future just because of how many people's lives it could change. If I think about what could really change lives and what I could do something about this exact second, I would say is just spreading the awareness of crypto, spreading the love surrounding these communities and whatnot, maybe helping some people out with daily crypto news. It's some stuff that I can do for other people, and I really just want to try, be the best as I possibly can. And I really appreciate all the support from you guys by just pressing the like button every time and, all the comments and whatnot. It really, helps out with my days as well. It's just really, really heartening, if that's even a word, to see that every day. So thank you guys all for that. Just wanted to quickly share that. All right, so today, been quite a crazy day, guys. Some big moves in crypto have been happening. We're seeing it here, plus 5% on Bitcoin, plus 2.8 on XRP, plus 3.8 on Ethereum. But in general, quite a good day, I would say. Looking at this as well, a couple of days was a little bit better, but you guys get it. Bitcoin hold wave data has now been calling a bull run for 5 months. Hold waves show that over 60% of the supply has not moved for a year or more, something which historically has signaled price upside. And recently I had a big discussion with some of my other friends, I would say then, about this and about historical movements really specifically, because I was reading a couple of research papers, and of course they have to do with traditional stocks, not with crypto and Bitcoin, but it really made me think again about what would come as a conclusion, or what hypothesis even could be tested when we're talking about crypto in markets instead of traditional assets. Because one of the things I do notice here is that I would not even know what to consider crypto. What kind of market would it be? I would say it's semi-strong, but if you think about it, most of what Bitcoin is doing is like a market move, right? Because if Bitcoin moves, since it's got 70% or so, 66% of the market, it's basically whenever Bitcoin moves, the rest of the market moves with it. So would that mean that historical things, because they often say you can't beat the market if it's efficient, the market. Would that mean, however, that historical things can influence it? Because even though we all got the same info and you wouldn't be able to make a profit with, something smaller, so to speak, you wouldn't be able to, hypothetically speaking, beat the market, even though it's still possible. Would you be able to, following history, make some very good profit, in theory, always, so beat the market on Bitcoin, just following these historical things? Hopefully my little question here was obvious for you guys. I think all the people that have done anything in economics will know exactly what I'm trying to say. And if you guys have any more insights on that, just comment it down below or at me on Twitter, because I'm really interested in it. And if none of you guys answer, I'll most likely check it out myself. And also just to fact check what I've just said. But what I'm saying here is, looking at Swift's accompanying chart, and Swift here is an individual, 60% of all Bitcoin has not moved on the blockchain for at least a year. This is an indication of significant holding. The last time this has happened was in early 2016 at the start of the bull run. And while one of the things I could say there is that I have also not been moving Bitcoin for a very, very long while. If I'm trying to transact something, I would most likely use XRP, and moving Bitcoin, I would only do if I'm trying to sell it. If I'm buying it, that's not really touching any of my old Bitcoin. So only if I wanted to sell, I would move it. And if 60% has been holding, that's a very good indication that not that many people are afraid of Bitcoin. They're still in, as happy as they were once before. Goldman Sachs, lazy Bitcoin assessment is embarrassing. The leading global investment bank signs the same old song to diss Bitcoin, didn't spare gold either. The Wolf of Wall Street says the Goldman Sachs meeting notes have been leaked. The gist is this: Fed is brilliant. Dollar is perfect. Inflation, not too worried about that. Depression, economy has bottomed, so no depression. Gold, bad. Bitcoin, bad, and for criminals. Predictable. towing the line for the government. Cameron Winklevoss said, "Hey, Goldman Sachs, 2014 just called and asked for their talking points back. Bitcoin was declared a commodity by the CFTC in 2015 in the coin flip order. So yeah, it's an asset whose price is set by supply and demand. Just like gold, just like oil, it's a commodity." So I find it interesting how they said it like that. I don't really know if I don't know why they would do such a thing. It's kind of strange because saying it's bad for criminals, yeah, I don't know if that's a bigger plan behind it all, if that's just a coincidence, if it's just ignorance, if it's just laziness, if it's just, I really don't know exactly why they would put something out like this. What we do know, though, is that Goldman Sachs, you're back in the government, not wanting anything to do with depression or foreign assets or Bitcoin and things like that. Interesting. All right, we just covered that in a different article. As the Bitcoin dominance rate decreases, major altcoins could move upwards. The Bitcoin dominance rate has lost the support of the 200-day MA and is following a descending resistance line. A decrease below 63% could trigger a rapid decrease towards 52%, and both Litecoin and XRP have broken down below important support levels. And my thoughts on that is, screw this, all right? I've told you guys before what I think the correlation is between the Bitcoin dominance and the movements in altcoins, but in the end, it really depends on exactly what Bitcoin is doing. And right now, I would say don't worry too much about it. There's not too much going on. There's not too much to tell. And there's most likely not that big of a move in alts going on here relative to Bitcoin. So I would say just sit back a little bit for something more to occur, and then I'll enlighten you guys more on what I think, of the dominance altcoin situation. Because right now, I don't think you should be worried about it whatsoever. After Bitcoin visits 8.6K, Crypto Trader predicts Bitcoin price's next stop. The Bitcoin price dropped to 8,600 and is now fluctuating just above 9K, showing high volatility as several factors make its next step unclear. Well, to me, it's basically either we're going to hit 10K or we're going to fall down lower if we can't breach it. But I'm kind of guessing we're going to be going for it, though. We're going to be trying to get there. That's just what my gut is telling me. I don't actually have a very good proof or anything like that for it. A very good, reason why. It's kind of just what I believe in, without having it based on real facts. Because, as I said before, it's still a theory on whether technical analysis would work, since it's following history and it's all predictions. But I personally think we're gonna try 10K. That's just my thought on it all. And if we can't breach 10K, we'll most likely fall down quite lower. But I do think we'll give it another go. I do think we'll test it again. Alex Cobb just posted on Twitter, "I just shorted XRP. Now it has no choice but to go up and make me lose money." So that's kind of funny. I don't know if it was real or, if it's a coincidence, because, he shorted supposedly 17 hours ago or so. And, yeah, I don't know. But the price did pretty damn good after you did that. So maybe it's his magic. Maybe it's coincidence. I do think so. Maybe he's lying. Who knows? But it's kind of funny. and by the way, a lot of you can recognize this as well. Every time you just start to short, you think about, what, I'm going to sell. The price moves upwards. It's always like that. VP of Product Amir Sarhangi explains the benefits of RippleNet Cloud and why it's critical now, more than ever, that financial institutions realize the benefits of cloud-based solutions. We've been talking about this for a little while. It's, again, just some small parts to the bigger picture here that we're moving into the new digital revolution, all right? I'm telling you guys this as much as I possibly can. It's a movement. We're part of it all, which is, again, why I'm following it on the freaking daily. And yeah, it's just really amazing to see. It's really, really good to see, especially now, by the way, in times of crisis and fear, that they're emancipating or they're progressing is always really, really good to see. But the future of banking is RippleNet Cloud. With RippleNet Cloud, banks and financial institutions can maximize their business benefits with minimal effort and more flexibility. RippleNet Cloud allows customers to send and receive payments with one integration and a common Ripple Payment Object, RPO, amongst all customers on RippleNet, meaning less friction and more standardization when customers are ready to scale. Pretty damn good. Using cloud, customers can go live on RippleNet 5 weeks faster than on-prem customers and avoid hardware acquisition or staffing to get started, speeding up payments for the end consumer. RippleNet Cloud also makes it easy for financial institutions to add alternative settlement through on-demand liquidity, and cloud customers can also maintain and make new connections more easily through one API for all the RippleNet connections. Rembrandt Brown says on Twitter, XRP market manipulation. Can someone explain this to me? How can Ripple manipulate the market when multiple exchanges, I believe he's trying to say, around the world have listed XRP? It can't be the escrow release as we see it go in and go out each month. So what's going on? And my piece on this all is the same that Galgatron is saying here. It's Ripple. It's not Ripple, I would say. It's not Ripple doing all of this. There's actually, I believe here, also a post on Galgatron's website. Galgatron.net, it says here, the anatomy of a whale. But basically, it's not Ripple doing all this selling. We've actually discussed this multiple times. It's actually not Jim McCaleb either, even though he's considered a whale because he's not, Ripple native, or at least maybe he used to be native. I don't know what you call it now. He's like an ex-employee, right? So he's the ex-founder as well, or co-founder. But he has a ton of XRP. However, he cannot sell that much. And same goes for Ripple. They have certain percentages of the daily volume that they can sell. So in turn, let's say, for example, all of them combined have a combined of 2% of the total volume. It's not going to make that much of a difference. If you consider it, how much that is, 2% of the total volume is not a lot of money. Again, just think about that. So let's say, for example, it's $7 million. That's not going to make too much of a difference on the whole market, I would say. And so if that is Ripple and all their employees combined, there's got to be some other entities, right? Because, if that's $7 million that they can do, then they're not influencing these markets that much. That's my opinion. Peter Pumpkin Eater, or Yes I'll Have Some on Twitter, says, make no mistake about it, RippleNet with XRP and XBL will change the face of value transfer globally. XRP payments that are deterministic, atomic, low-cost, scalable as Visa, virtually no energy burn, democratic, without geopolitical bias, and is available now. Yeah, he has some point, And again, I'm not trying to actually support these messages themselves, because I would say this adds not that much value to the world in itself. However, I do think that the point he's trying to get across, which again, most people reading this will already know, is that what we're in for here is going to be good, and what we're in for here, it's going to be juicy. It's going to be used a lot, and it has some importance to it. So again, I guess it might be useful to some people who didn't know about it yet, because they're just, again, being encouraged to look into it, or to, read up more about it, that what we're investing in here, XRP, it has a lot of potential, right? So I guess it actually does have a little bit of a purpose. Leo just said, Ripple ODL partner exchange Bitstamp introduces Great British Pounds trading. That's pretty good. Somebody's asking if it's good or bad news. It is good news. I could not see how this at any point would be a bad piece of news, but yeah. And then last but not least, something funny I just saw. Justin Sun says on Twitter, Tron 4.0 beats Ethereum 2.0. Tron wins Ethereum with more than 53k votes. Thanks for the votes. We will spare no effort to make Tron the #1 blockchain in the world and continue to decentralize the web. It's a reply to an earlier tweet from Justin Sun, which was Tron 4.0 versus Ethereum 2.0. Which one is better? 100,000 votes. Tron 4.0 won, and it's pretty interesting, right? Yeah, it's pretty damn interesting. I'm also thinking they're fake votes, because that's a lot of them, and also he's not that popular anymore at all. So I don't know why he has 2 million followers. I think a lot of it is being faked, and you can see it because his Chinese Twitter that has not been faked yet, most likely. it's got 12,000. Now, I know Chinese will most likely use Twitter a lot less often, but 12,000 for him, for his second Twitter when his first one has 2 million, I don't buy that, you know? So I think some manipulation, some crazy stuff is going on right there. But hey, whatever. Him doing him is all he wants to do, whatever. I don't give a shit. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. I also have 2 other channels which I'm going to be trying to post more on, Dusty Finance and 5 Minute Crypto. 2 really amazing channels with no ads. Links are in the description below. They speak for themselves. 5 Minute Crypto is just crypto updates in 5 minutes. And Dusty Finance is like traditional finance covered on that channel. So more of like, you know, traditional commodities possibly, and, you know, like the stock market and economics. I don't even know what else. You just check it out. You'll enjoy it if you like money. And if you watch this far into the video, what can you type? What can you put in? What can you put in? What's a crazy word we've been seeing? I'm choking. No, I'm choking. No, put Goldman in the comments. I choked so hard I didn't know a word to think of. If you watch this far into the video, put Goldman in the comments section and I'll, you know, check you out because you're crazy. I love you for doing that. Thank you all for watching. See you guys again in another crypto video.